Goblins vs Northern Alliance, Kings of War Battle Report, Clash of Kings Asia, Round 4.
Hello there! I like to watch battle reports to get better at games. So I started making short, summarized battle reports that focus on learning points. So welcome to my channel, Newbie Dice. Do like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy my videos. Do consider speeding up this video with the YouTube settings to consume this content or other YouTube content in a fraction of the time.
Alright, I know it's been a long while. This is from my tournament way back in February, so let's get to it. We are playing with universal orders, not the faction ones. So because of that, most players did not purchase additional dice, just rolling the 3 red dice. And most of the time doing a strength or accuracy here and there, and an endurance from time to time. That's a big one. And very rarely some of the 3 cost ones. So let's get to it. My list, since it's been a while, let me just repeat. 1 regiment and horde of rebel, 4 hordes of sharp sticks. So I find this upgrade quite worth it, but you know, when you stack up 4 hordes, 15 points more than a rebel, 4 hordes is already 60 points, which is a lot in terms of points for goblins. Right, so I didn't have another 15 points to upgrade the 5th horde from a rebel to a sharp stick. But overall, I'm quite happy with them because Phalanx does screw up with Thunderous Charge, you know, and Cavalry and Flyers getting -1. When they do hit, 30 attacks is better than 25, even though it's hitting on 5s. I do have the potential to make them stronger because I do have a Binchan 2 on the Flagit. The Flagit also gives them Strider in case they are charging, not counter-charging, but actually charging, and there's terrain, which often happens when I just run Rebel. You know, opponent just disrespects the Rebel by charging and then allowing a flank charge from Rebel, but hitting on 6s at 25, 50 attacks is still not going to do much, especially if you don't have Enchant. But with 30 attacks on 5 Strider, it makes more difference because 10 hits from the front, 20 hits from the side, ignoring terrain. And then with Enchant, defense 5, 20 hits will be suffering an average of 10 wounds, which is quite significant. Alright, because I only have 5 hordes and 1 regiment, I use the 6 unlock on the hero, so I only have 5 war engine slots. So I put them into 3 sharp sticks, throwers, and 2 war trombone. I have 3 wingets, 1 slasher with the trombone upgrade, as well as the rampage aura for beasts that includes itself, Magua Juice, and King on Chariot. So I have a king with Groany Snap upgrade. It often gets wavered, so I give it the wavering, headstrong aura as well. Flag it with Binchan 2, and then 2 wizards. Both of them have lightning bolt, one with hex and conjurer staff, the other one with alchemist curse 2, and piercing arrow. Piercing arrow allows me to reroll 1 failed ranged damage roll that includes coming from spells, because spells are considered ranged attacks. I have Magua and Juice and a king on chariot. 21 units, total unit strength 23, 11 of my units score. My opponent, Northern Alliance, Ice Naiads with Spears and Hammer of Magic Force, 3 Pack Hunters, 1 with Fire Oil, Ice Elemental Horde, Frostfang Cavalry Horde with Brew of Sharpness and Tundra Fighters, so that they will delete anything they touch, but it's a whopping 310 point price tag. Snow Foxes, Regiment, Ice Queen with Hugh and Binchan, Sarakina, Thane with Rally Banner, Prim, and Deformation, 2 Berserker Troops, and 1 Frostclaw Riders with the shooting upgrade. 14 units, also 11 unit strength. 11 of them score 23 unit strength. Let's move on, but before that, a shout out to my local game store.
In my opinion, the best game store in Singapore. They are beginner friendly with demo games, paint workshops, and overall a very casual gaming environment. They have the widest range of games and hobby supplies, including very obscure hobby brands and tools. They have separate levels for retail and gaming, so you can shop in peace or take part in the rowdy, fun atmosphere on the gaming level. Their website is always updated with new products added weekly. hammerhouse.com.sg. Check it out.
Yeah, just another shout out to my local game store, Hammer House. If you're shopping from within the region, you can always check out their web store. They ship internationally and they do have a lot of niche products. So this is my opponent Sean with me with the thumbs up. And this is my army and this is his army. And he did this army in about 2 weeks before the tournament because he did have a Northern Alliance army, but it was a creative conversion from Star Wars Imperial Assault minis. That army is pretty awesome. It even won Player's Choice Best Painted in our local tournaments. Because we're going regionally, there is a rule to purposely represent the model. So he, instead of thinking, he loved playing Northern Alliance so much that instead of trying to build a new army, he just rebuilt an entire Northern Alliance army with fantasy models, including some from Games Workshop themselves. Sorry, not Games Workshop. Come on, Mantic Games. All right, let's start off with our game. Control is the scenario, and no scout, but this is the deployment. I don't know who won sides, and I think I lost the initiative because if I had won, I would have gone first. So he went first in this one. So here is all the labeling so that you are able to know what's what. Okay, and anything to take note. The first thing was the Frostfang Horde was deployed as his last drop, and he deployed it all the way outside of this blocking terrain and is pretty much alone and unsupported, which I thought was a bit of a strange choice. I think he just wanted to shore up this flank by just throwing that piece over there. I guess he felt that against Goblins, there's not much in the need of healing power, right? Yeah, and let's move on and we'll see what happens. Okay, turn 1, he got the first turn. He moved his guys up, moving into terrain. And these guys, the Pack Hunters, don't have steady aim, so it will be shooting without at 6s. So I don't think it dealt just a little bit of damage here, probably. Yep. And yeah, stuff shuffled up. I remember this is... I think he stacked it this way so that the things will give cover, right? Because the Foxes will give cover to these guys, the Berserkers. Height 1 giving cover to Height 2. Height 2 giving cover to Height 4, the Frostclaws, and the Frostclaw Height 4 giving cover to Shrimp. So I think that's the rationale of how he deployed this way. Okay, and he pushed this Frostfang Horde pretty aggressively up, and I think it's too aggressive. So my counterplay, so look at that. I'm sorry for the blurry pictures. Yeah, taken in the heat of battle. So what I did was I pushed this rebel regiment up into within 1 inch of him, and I pushed this horde up behind. So what's happening here is I'm forcing him to charge the regiment because we have measured out that if he dodged this regiment, he can't charge the horde, and there's nothing else to charge, right? So he's sort of trapped here. Okay, and he can't move forwards because if you're not charging, you can't come within 1 inch of the enemy. So your only choice is to charge forward, charge at this unit. So I felt that he pushed up a little bit too far, so that gave me the opportunity to set this trap. And after he killed this regiment, this horde right here of Sharpsticks could charge downhill to get Thunderous 1, and my flagger is here for the Bane chance, so he could get Crushing 2 at 38 attacks on 5, so that's still pretty painful. And yeah, and I have a King on Chariot here to readily get a flank on him as well. So on top of that, my shooting unloaded 6 wounds on it. So I think my long range shooting shot at the Frostfangs, and then my short range shooting shot at the Foxes. The Foxes do have stealthy, so other than spell damage, they do suffer a stealthy penalty. Right, so top of 2, let's talk about here first. So it did kill off the regiment and awaiting reprisal. So it's not inspired and not supported, right? Okay, so over on the left side, let's talk about the left side. So he started crashing into me already. So the one of the unit of Berserkers went in, and then the Frostclaw went in, of course hitting on 5s because Phalanx, no, hitting on 4s only, but no Thunderous, right? So yeah, I tried to kill the Frost, the Snow Foxes. I didn't kill it, so in return he could charge onto my Slasher. Right, over here it moved his archers, pack hunters, move forwards more, and I think one of them got some shots on the sharpstick throwers. So very surprisingly, my sharpstick throwers were getting touched. Usually they sit at the backfield, no one touches them, right? They're being touched by arrows right now. Okay. So let's see what I did in return. So let's talk about the left side first. Okay. So what I did here was my horde of sharpsticks decided to countercharge the berserkers. Why, right? Because the sharpsticks and the berserkers are height 2. So I decided to charge the berserker so that I can shoot at the Frostclaw riders, which are height 4, with my 2 wizards as well as the trombone over here. Where's my other trombone? Let me see. I haven't tell us. Oh, my other trombone was here. I think it got shot off. Yeah, it got shot off by something. Not sure. Maybe perhaps it's the this one, the frost, the ice elementals, and this one. What's this called? Sarakina. Okay. So bad for me. I think I should have just not stepped into the forest, which is what I should have done. Okay. So let's come back over here. So the mistake here is that I think I was overly optimistic at my shots. I think I shot with quite a bit of stuff, but not enough, because I am splitting my shots between the Frost Claws over here as well as this unit of Berserkers, which I took out. Okay, and the problem is if you don't even waver the Frost Claws, they still have their fly because I didn't charge them, right? So they're gonna touch my back lines, which was what he was gonna do. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think my trombone was killed by Sarakina, and then this horde suffered some damage from the ice elementals. Okay, over on the right side, the trap succeeded, so I had Bane Chan go off. I charged downhill, and the rules for charging downhill is you don't really have to get off the hill. As long as you start on the hill in your charge and you're charging at something that's not on the hill, you get the Thunderous bonus already. Okay, so you don't technically have to go downhill, you just have to start on the hill. Okay, and that's the Chariot King on the side, and my Groany actually went into the side of these Pack Hunters because I could actually see the Pack Hunters, right? And there's a gap here. Okay, so I want to turn off some of his shooting, was what I was thinking. Okay, after doing that, I also shot this at the middle Pack Hunters. What I didn't notice was that I should have positioned it out of the front arc of this regiment, but I didn't, so it's just within. So there was a bit of a positional mistake on my part. Okay, so top of 3. That unit that got charged by Groany, it couldn't shoot, but it could see the Winged, so it charged into the Winged. I did turn off his Thunderous though, right? Because I did some wounds to him. So that's at least great for my part. Okay, this mistake that I did was, this is a Horde of Rebel. I thought I thought of just moving up to the fence, right, to get cover from the shooting, but I moved it too far and I didn't tilt it enough that the Hrim had a flank charge to it. Okay, so Hrim did a flank charge onto it. I thought, oh dear. But I've played some Northern Alliance myself, and I've played Hrim, and I know that Hrim bring a giant, right? Firstly, random number of attacks, hitting on 4s, even in the flank, and most of the players get Slayer, and I think Hrim has no choice, must be Slayer, so they don't get extra D6 Rampage. So I know that the odds of killing just alone in the flank is not high. And true enough, he didn't kill this horde. In fact, he didn't even deal a lot of damage. He flubbed quite a bit. Okay, if we math it out, right, 10 plus, Hrim is 10 plus D6. So if 13.5 is the average, right? So even if we round it up to 14, in the flank is 28 attacks, but hitting on 4s, so it goes into 14 hits, and you would out of 14, you would have at least, on average, at least 2 1s, right? So it's about 12 wounds, right? With Brutal, right? That's 13 against 21 is 8 twice to route. Of course, only a 6 to waver, right? It's within the Flagit's very inspiring aura. Okay. And yeah, so even when he charged it at first, I was like, oh no, but in my mind, I was like, I think on average it doesn't die, right? So over here, the Naiads came into the fold. I think the Horde was double charged earlier, so now the Naiads finished it off, even if it's hindered. Okay, the Frostclaws jumped over and charged, I think it's the flank of this Golden Winged over here. Okay, killed it off. So now the Frostclaw Riders are in my backfield, but not to worry, they're already partially wounded, so I think I could take them out. Okay, let's see. I can't see how much damage I dealt to it. Okay, my opponent did a mistake here as well. What he did was he wanted to shoot with the Ice Elementals, followed by a surge into combat. Two rounds of covered shots would be 12 hits and 8 wounds. So it would be on average wounded by 8 already. And charging in, he will do another 4 wounds. So of course, if he spiked a little bit, he could take it out. But what happened was Sarakina is the one with Surge. But he saw a juicy target to Wind Blast. He Wind Blasted my Sharpstick Thrower over here. I think he killed one. Did he kill one? No. But either way, he Wind Blasted to waver the Sharpstick Throwers, but didn't kill. And then after he Wind Blasted, then he realized, oh, shucks, I forgot I'm supposed to Surge, right? And then this unit did charge the Winged, right? But I think on average is 6 hits and 3 wounds, so not in waver territory yet, but just wounded. Okay, so let's see. Sorry for the blurry images once again. But what happened here? The Rebel countercharged the Shrimp, and then the Chariot King was able to see it as well. So both of them charged in there. And then this unit faced this way, I think. Okay, I just charged one of the units here. I think it's the Ice Elementals. Okay, and then Magua could see and charge Sarakina. So that's with Duelist 21 attacks. Sarakina does have Ensnare, so hitting on 4s, that's about 10 hits. Wounding on 2s with Vicious, that's almost 10 wounds there. So no surprise if I could take it out in one go. Alright, and yeah, I forgot what I shoot over here. I guess I think I charged the Berserkers, right? And then yeah, I think some of the shooting went into killing the Frostclaws for sure, especially the wizards here, I think. Okay, so yeah, and the Trombone is facing backwards, so that went into the Frostclaws as well. So that's the main target of my shooting. Okay, what I should have done after killing Sarakina was to backstab. I think I did not backstab. Just looking at the pictures, yep, Sarakina is about this much off the forest, so I'm also around here. So I should have backstabbed because I didn't realize I was within 11 inches of the frontmost Pack Hunters. So the Pack Hunters charged into Magua and wavered it. Okay, and then finally, he took out the Rebel. Okay, and what's next? Over here, I'm not sure why my opponent chose to countercharge his Shrimp into the Chariot King instead. Because that opens up a flank charge from my Sharps. This is Rebel, right? So 25, so 50 attacks on 5, but with Banechant support. Still pretty painful. Okay. What I did with this... Okay, what happened previous turn was that the pack hunters that charged the winged. The winged moved sideways away, and then the horde charged into the pack hunters and killed it. It was it's charging downhill once again, and it was previously hurt by Grony already, that regiment. So flying away, I was hoping that it would not cop shots from this unit. Okay, but I failed to... Did I try to wound it? I got a feeling I tried to... Grony charged this unit, and then it charged out. So Grony probably should have charged at this unit, right? I was thinking that both units will probably shoot at the winged, so I want to turn off one of them. Turns out this unit had a better target in charging Magua, so thankfully I only got a waiver because I'm trying to preserve scoring units, and in Goblins the best scoring units are the wingeds because they are very mobile, very precious in a control scenario. Okay, so he did waiver it but not kill it. It is within 9 inches of very inspiring from the Flagate. Okay, so units, not a lot of units left on the board, right? But at the same time, still doing alright. This slasher could charge at this unit, which has already taken 4 wounds. So this slasher does have a rampage. So my slasher is over here. Rampage, so 10 plus D3 attacks, wounding on 3s, and hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. I did add Grony in for good measure to take out that unit because I think if I don't kill it, I might be within the front arc of the Ice Naiads. Maybe, maybe not, right? But the point is I did kill it and I just overran forwards. I think I was trying to get unit strength into his center. Okay, over here, I did charge into this unit of pack hunters. Didn't kill it, but I think this unit is fresh, so I'm pretty comfortable here. He's not gonna kill me in return. Okay, and then I, with the flank charge into the rim. So this is over 2 rounds of charges already. Took out rim. Did Bin Chan go off? I'm not sure. And this unit of Ice Elementals is heavily wounded. So I think the rest of my shooting sort of went into it. Okay, so for Ice Naiads, I'm just going to speed bump it by letting him charge the trombone. The trombone is not going to get out from its charge range anyway. So I think I move forward to speed bump it, block it up, and then shoot at the Ice Elementals. Okay. So I think we stopped taking pictures there. But what happened is I would eventually kill off this unit and this unit. So his only scoring units left would be the Ice Naiads. So at that point, I still have a lot of scoring units left. So I think I have 2 for his center, 1 for holding my own. Okay, and 1 over here. Okay, I think I could have pushed this chariot back for 1 here. If I move the slasher back, I will have 5 unit strength against his 4, so he can't contest get my center, right? I'm not sure. This winged might have died because if I didn't kill the Ice Elementals, it would have a round of shooting on me. Granted, it's only hitting on 5s, so I might survive it. So, yep. So that's the end of the game. So let's look at some learning points. So referring to the Frostfang, be careful not to push your units too far forwards, that it gets forced by the opponent to charge Chef and be taken out in return, because the Frostfang does have the speed advantage, right? Charges 15 inches, but being forced by the opponent to charge what the opponent wants is a bad trade. Okay, so I really need to be careful because I think I was very confident that I would waiver or kill that flying Frostclaw unit. If I've planned better, perhaps I could have given it not so great charges even if I did not kill it. I'm not sure. I think it has a lot of choice targets in whether it's the wingeds or even the sharpstick throwers. I think they might have an angle to charge it. Okay, so my opponent did forget to search. Also think of when sometimes you are trying to do like a multiple charge into a combat with a surge. So be careful that when you move a unit to surge into combat later, that when you charge a unit into it, that the charge that unit sliding to the center doesn't block the surge charge later on, because there are people who plan the position, the shambling unit that it will surge into combat, and then they charge another unit in, but because of the unit sliding to center, it blocks the surge path into combat. So you have to take note of that as well. So do remember, in general, do remember your reforms, what you need to do after you kill the enemy. Sometimes you get too excited and happy that you killed the enemy and then you just left it there, or you forgot what you need to do. Sometimes you do have to plan what you're going to do about the reform when you declare the charges as well, especially when you do multi-charges, right? Because your units will be side by side, and that often restricts its reform capability, how they can face. And sometimes you get to double charge into the enemy, you killed it, but then shucks, my very expensive hammer unit is stuck. It has limited options to reform, and then it's gonna get flank charges and all that. So you have to think about the reform before you even charge as well. Do I have, especially for double charge? Because in a single charge, usually the enemy pops, and then you have a lot of free space to face wherever you want. But in a multi-charge, you are not given that luxury to face wherever you want. Sometimes it gets blocked, and sometimes that's the trap set by the opponent. Okay, yep. And for myself, I should have backed up Magua. I think if I backed up, the unit of pack hunters might not have a charge on me. Yeah, but then again, I rather the pack hunters charge my Magua than to potentially kill off the Winged, which is the scoring unit, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. Whenever I play Northern Alliance, because pack hunters don't have steady aim, there are a lot of times that I would not move them in order to get shots. And in the late game, they are often not in position to contribute to the front lines because they're still sitting far back. It is the case for my opponent in this game, but I'm not sure if that contributed to the loss, right? Because it does, I think it did decent shooting throughout the game. It did have stuff to charge at, Magua being one, Winged being another one. Yep. And yep, so for my Goblins case, for shooting armies, it's often like that. You have a limited number of shots, right? In a melee focused army, when you start crushing people's flank, you're gonna start rolling in from the flanks. You're gonna get double, triple attacks all the time because you're crushing the opponent from the side. So even when you have less units, your output is still pretty strong, because when you're winning the melee off, right, you are starting to have superior positioning. They can't stop you from charging flanks, and then you will start rolling over the opponent. But for shooting armies, you have a limited number of shots, right? From the start of the game, I have X number of shots. It's never going to get doubled or tripled. And throughout the game, as I lose units, it will dwindle. So there's a limit to my killing power. All right, and so I have to decide from the start or from very early in the game, what am I going to shoot and kill, and what am I not going to shoot and kill, because I can't kill everything on the board. So the very obvious one that's very difficult to kill would be the Naiads, because they do have that regen. Right, they do have that regen, and then he has heal. He has Sarakina does have the Radiance of Life aura that works on Naiads and Ice Elementals. So I knew that is very hard to kill. So I focused on killing off the Ice Elementals. So I left the Naiads alone for if I can leave that behind, kill the rest, and be able to win the game, that's the game plan for me. And yep, that's the end of the battle report. Shout out to my patrons, Anonymous. So I know my videos posting hasn't been very consistent. Life has been busy, and actually my mic broke down when I wanted to record the other day, and I got a replacement mic. Yep, so do support me on YouTube and on podcast. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, just a few bucks if you are inclined to, but only if you're obliged, or only if you like doing it, right? So that's the end. Next video will be my final video for Clash of Kings Asia 2025, the top table match. See you in the next one.